To take refuge in Buddha means what? Buddha means an enlightened being. So whoever gives us the refuge must be enlightened. Otherwise, he is not called Buddha. And the past Buddha cannot enlighten us, however enlightened he was. Or else, the Indian people, when the Buddha was alive, could be all enlightened already by just being with him, being around him, being under the same sky, same country. Most people with Buddhism believe that if they worship the Buddha, bow to his statue, and light an incense, offering some fruit and flower, then they are safe and they are taking refuge already in the Buddha. I think it is the most mistaken concept. Because the Buddha statues, no doubt, represent the past Buddha, but not the present one. And the past Buddha cannot help us in any way except to leave behind some little theory for us to follow and to examine, to make reference. And some of us, we go to the church and get baptized and get some cakes, some very tasteless cakes, and we think we are safe from the hellfire. I'm glad people do that anyhow. The symbolism of truth at least is kept, well kept, and I'm glad they do it. Why I'm glad? Because it shows how innocent people are, how easy to believe, how naive. At least it means we are so innocent, so pure in the heart, easy to believe anything. So I'm glad the Buddhist people go to the temple and offer fruit to the wooden statue, and I'm glad the Catholic believer go to church and repeat some of the ancient experiences like the flame and the voice of thunder and voice of many water, and then thinking that they are saved. At least they show their purity and innocence. But innocence and purity could not help us much if we in this lifetime do not see the Buddha, do not experience God ourselves. It is like someone just fix a telephone in your house without wire connection and tell you, here, that is a telephone. It looks like everybody else's telephone, and that's it. Now every day you can dial a number and talk. But what is it? You're talking to yourself only. The connection is not there, and the other end cannot receive anything. If we believe by talking on one side of the telephone and no answer from the other side, that is all right. Then I think we are the most innocent people in the world. Is that not so? Now to believe that God hears us and we get no response from him is even more innocent than that. Before, I was that innocent. Every day I also would go to church and go to the temple, believing that was all there was to it. But then when I grew up and I was feeling empty, I felt God doesn't respond to anything. He doesn't care if I cry my heart out. He doesn't care. The Buddha doesn't dry my tears. He doesn't answer my sincere prayers and questions. He just sits there and smiles. Every day they're ever smiling. Like this. And I cried and I bowed and I threw myself at his feet. He didn't move 1 inch. So then I became frustrated, and then after a while I became angry. I thought, Buddha, how come you can be so impolite? But it wasn't the Buddha who was impolite. It was me who was too naive. And after some time I started to realize that maybe the dead Buddha couldn't help me much. I had to find the living one. I had to find the living Buddha inside me. Therefore, I started to look for masters, methods, and the real way to get enlightenment. Not just every day bowing to a lifeless statue. So then, I have found it. After a lot of struggle, discipline, and effort, I have found it.
Russia, go home now.